What's up, guys? I'm self-determination. So I had some things on my mind that I wanted to get off my chest. Now I'm not gonna drop any names or anything like that because I just don't do that, and also because I don't want what I'm saying to be misconstrued and then later given to that person as an attack or those people as an attack or whatever. Because that's not the case at all. I find the fickleness of people on YouTube to be very funny. If I gave a shit about how people responded, replied, or react to me, I wouldn't be the person that I am right now. There was a little stretch of time where I was off of YouTube, dealing with some personal stuff. And if anybody out there who missed my presence on the internet, bothered or even gave enough of a fuck as to be curious as to why, they could have easily asked the question. Instead, I find myself on YouTube going to certain channels and, making my presence known once again on the internet, on YouTube. And people who I used to build dialogue with now don't even want to build dialogue with me anymore or whatever. But that is what it is, you know what I'm saying? And the only reason why I'm talking about it is because it literally was on my mind just now. Not that I give a shit. Like I said, I'm not going to give out any names. I'm not even going to unsubscribe from these people's channels because, again, I can't take any of this shit personally. You know what I'm saying? If dudes are that fickle and that into their baby feelings about simple shit like that, then so be it. But anyway, moving on. I was watching. I hear people bring up these words or terms, soul, spirit, and every time I hear somebody bring up those words, phrases, or terms, I never actually hear a definition of such. And when people try to give a definition, people always give a different explanation or different definition than the last person. So nobody's consistent on what these things mean. Personally, to me, they're empty fucking words because you don't know what they really mean. There is no definition for them. Define soul, define spirit for me. Because people say, well, your spirit will guide you. Your soul will lead you. You feel it deep in your soul. Well, define that. I ask people to define this. I go into their comment sections, and when they use these words, I ask them to define that shit. They completely ignore and or circumnavigate those questions. That to me says a lot. That says a lot to me. I think when people use those words, terms, or phrases, they're trying to fill in the blanks for an absence of knowledge and information. These words are all encompassing. You know what I'm saying? Like shit, like saying the universe will do this. That means you really don't understand the universe if you think the universe itself is a living, breathing agent that acts upon our reality. That means you've proven, one, that you're not an astrophysicist or a physicist of any kind. You know absolutely nothing about astronomy. You know what I'm saying? To believe that the universe is an agent that acts upon our little grain of sand, speck of dust, subatomic particle planet. When you look at our planet against the backdrop of the universe, you can't even fucking pinpoint it. Our fucking planet is a grain of dust, a grain of sand on the beach of the entirety of the universe. But you just confirm that you don't understand what those things are. I don't understand why people throw these empty terms and phrases out there. People who have gotten away from religion, who are more agnostic in their and agnostic only means without knowledge. It's a statement of not knowing. I don't know. I don't know. And people who try to give you spiritual advice or tell you what God thinks or what the universe does is confirming how little they actually know. There was a study conducted, right, where people were asked questions about someone that they were familiar with or they know, and asked to, what do you think this person would say or do in this situation, right? And they monitor brainwave activity. They ask the person a question and what they do, a certain part of the brain lights up, right? They ask them what this person that they know or are familiar with or was introduced to, what they would think or say in a situation. A different part of the brain lights up, right? But then when they ask people, what do they think God would think or say or do in a situation? Guess which parts of the brain lights up? The part of the brain that lights up for what you think God would do or say. Basically, when people are telling you what God wants, they are putting themselves in the place of that being and telling you what it is they really think. Because think about it. If God is something that is beyond our comprehension, you can't know about it, which means you can't tell me about it, which means you don't know more about the fucking nature of reality than I do. In fact, I'll guarantee it, no matter how intelligent you are, how much about physics do you really know? I know a little bit. And the fact that you know nothing means that I know more about the nature of the universe than you do. Like what redshift is. Redshift is the constant expansion of the universe. Things are moving apart, and they're moving apart rapidly and getting faster. What part of a design is that? Anyway, this isn't that type of video. But I just want to say to people, because I'm not talking about what I do or do not believe in this video. What I want to say to people is stop getting sucked in by these motherfucking buzzwords. You understand? Because that's what Obama used. He used buzzwords and catchphrases to hook black people's attention. And then he didn't change a motherfucking thing. He only left us with hope. You understand? When people use these words, I'm not saying that a person can't give you good advice on life. But if you're going to give people advice, give people advice. Stop trying to be a fucking spiritual guru. Because when you try to get on that spiritual, quote unquote, metaphysical bullshit, which, but I mean, let's be what the, anyway. No, let me stop. Let me regather myself. When people start talking all that spiritual and metaphysical bullshit, to me, they're only confirming. To me, they sound like they're full of shit. They could be the most genuine and honest person on the planet, but when you start talking about things that you don't know, that you haven't experienced, and or that you have no actual knowledge or proof of, you're just blowing hot air at the end of the day. You understand what I'm saying? You're saying shit to make yourself seem a lot more intelligent than what you actually are. MC that I like, Talib Kweli, has a song called Train. I think it's called Train of Thought. Well, that's the album at least. Anyway, in the song, there's a lyric that goes like this. Jessica, he said, it goes like this. There was a female named Jessica Akea Moore who said, just because no one can understand how you speak doesn't necessarily mean that what you be saying is deep. Do you guys get, I hope you guys can understand that lyric. Just because no one can understand how you speak doesn't necessarily mean that what you be saying is deep. People be throwing shit into their phrases, into their conversations to make them sound like they're deep. But you really have no fucking idea what they mean. People say the universe always gives back. The universe doesn't do shit. You understand what I'm saying? Just like astrology is bullshit. The planets and the stars in the fucking universe do not line up in order to predict events in your fucking life. That is asinine. These are the teachings and the ramblings of Bronze Age illiterate people who were grasping desperately at an explanation for things they did not understand about the fucking world that they existed in. Until this day, people are still throwing shit out there. The universe doesn't do shit. As far as I know, the universe isn't a fucking disembodied mind. The universe isn't thinking about shit. The positive change in your life comes from the things that you do to make those things happen. And that is the point of this video. I'm not telling you not to take good advice from people, but learn how to decipher sift the bullshit from the real shit that you can actually use that's tangible in the real world. You understand what I'm saying? That's it. That's all I want. That's all I'm trying to say. Be more consciously aware of the things that people are saying to you. Learn, read, and understand. Because when you don't educate yourself, you're easily led astray by fucking charlatan and snake oil salesmen. People who are selling you a fucking fantasy in the guise of something that is actually tangible. You know, don't be so quick to jump all over somebody's words and fall in love with a phrase You understand what I'm saying? Because again, the universe is not a thinking agent. It is not a thing like our brains. The universe is not a disembodied mind. The universe is not dishing out and handing out karma. Because here's the fucked up thing about karma, right? Because since karma applies, if a little kid walks out into the street and gets hit by a fucking bus, everybody thinks that's a tragedy. But karma says that that kid deserved it because of something that they probably did in their last life or because a cookie they stole last week. Karma is fucking bullshit, and it is a horrific way to try and justify bad things when they happen. Shit happens. You understand what I'm saying? The things that you do in your life affect the other things that you do. You understand? If you are a person who did not spend your youth educating yourself, becoming worldly, you will be a very, very ignorant adult. Ignorant meaning not knowing, without knowledge or understanding. Another thing people need to start understanding is the proper usages of words. You understand what I'm saying? Think for yourself. Think for yourself. People using these empty ass hollowed out phrases does you no fucking good. It does you no good. And that's really all I wanted to say, man. You know what I'm saying? It is the things that you do in your life. When you prepare yourself for the world from a child up into your 20s, when you prepared yourself for the life that you're going to live after that, yeah, shit happens. There are unforeseen circumstances, other things that people do, roles that people play in your life that may cause things to be foul or fucked up. But at the end of the day, your preparation in life is what prepares you for the hardships that you have to fucking face. There's